Let's talk a little bit about skepticism. Because it's tricky to be skillfully skeptical. Skepticism is not simply wholesale doubting everything you see and hear. Nor is it a responsibility to undermine things that you find persuasive. But to be skillfully skeptical, you have to know yourself pretty well. You have to know what kinds of things you are inclined to believe too easily, and what kind of things you are inclined to not believe categorically. Because skepticism, in its healthy manifestation, is simply rigorous thinking. It is not doubt and categorical refutation of statements and apparent declarations. So how do we navigate that? And I would propose that one of the most important moments to be skeptical is in the moment of choosing a teacher. And or choosing a path, but most often that pivots around choosing a teacher. This is a moment when that categorical skepticism, or somewhere closer to that on the spectrum, could be useful. And especially when a teacher is making claims about themselves, like, is it true, is an appropriate response. However, once that choice is made and you have tended to any of your own personal vulnerabilities when it comes to making that kind of choice, after that, skillful skepticism has dramatically less doubt in it. But never for lack, never to the extent that it undermines a rigorous approach to discernment. So that is to say, when you witness skepticism in yourself or in another, even perhaps in a teacher, you should question the skepticism itself and wonder if it's coming from a place of fear or a place of rigorous thinking. There's no limit to the good rigorous thinking can do, but truly rigorous thinking is profoundly open. Whereas knee-jerk skepticism, perhaps cynicism, is profoundly closed. In order to organize the data of your experience skillfully, one must be open, like a true scientist is open to any possibility, always open to being wrong. A cynic is quite certain in how he or she sees the world. So on the path, it's important to apply skepticism skillfully. It's important to be very careful when choosing a teacher, when choosing a path. But once chosen, it's important to have confidence in that choice and be rigorously open. Because the very first principle of setting out on a spiritual path, setting out to learn, to develop, to become different than you are, is that you can't see from where you are. The truth that will be encompassed by your new perspective once you've made some progress along the spiritual path. It's very much like climbing a mountain. At the base of the mountain, you can only see so much. So sometimes, I suppose this line of thinking is coming up in me in response to seeing some sources out there on the YouTubeverse that even among teachers who are sort of performatively skeptical, as if it's meant to show that they are not under the influence of tradition, under the influence of faith, of, I don't know quite, I think you get the point. And really all that demonstrates is that one is overly consumed by a fear of the impression one might make. And a lot of skepticism comes from that place. It is like a dumbed down version of what you think your peers might think, or whoever you consider to have a voice that matters in your mind. So those are my current thoughts. Skillful skepticism is not cynicism, it is rigorous perception and openness with respect to conclusion.